exciting in game number 1 as well as Pun. He thinks it might be a volley bear day. This would be just signature picks all over the place if the volley bear is going to be locked in here, but maybe it's BA just playing with our hearts. And Olaf being a consideration, still feeling fairly northern as we get a Viking instead of a polar bear, and see who is going to keep themselves alive in the tournament.
Ignite Jace.
Okay.
So Zweon is getting a little bit spicy here. He's saying, yeah, you want to go to 6, you want to play slow, look for an all-in on me. What if I just threaten the all-in on you pre-6? HLE is a ridiculously hard opponent. Top, I think, should be more manageable, but still really good.
Ooh, trying to get the sidestep here, but Eddie going to get satcheled back. Jackie Love has him in his sights. One more auto will do it as Tien makes his way down. Barrier last second, but first blood still going to go over to Jackie.
Tien, to be honest, but he shows up, helps out, does get that assist, and...
All right, Pun, let's see whether he can make this one work. He's on fire for now, gets himself the shield and the solo bolo for Pun in the top lane.
It looks like they will be able to do that, but TSW are moving over.
Oh, another anchor. BA has been fantastic with these. It is going to be Tien locking down the Drake, but Jackie is in a lot of trouble. He is going to hold on to the flash and still go down. That is another kill as well, as Dire is able to lock down the Rel. And
so then he's going to go over there and try to help him out. Pun has got to get back to the lane. He's kind of just trying to decide what to do.
He's just going to run it. Jueon. Dire is going to move his way up towards that top side. The flash out. The ignite was ticking, but it's not going to work. And Histo is going to lock down the kill.
He popped his ult and went for it, but he knew he had 4 members in the area, is able to survive, barely lives, and now Histo scrapping.
Yeah, Tian taking a bit of damage here, but Fengwei is going to make his way in before BA gets here. There's the kickback though, Cataclysm, safeguard immediately up, but there's the knockup. Mega Inferno Bomb, not quite enough, but Cream is there to lock up the kill. Still it's a 1-for-1. Both junglers down, and Cream is on the wrong side of the map. And Dire has got a prism with his name on it. There's an undertow to connect. I don't know why there's a Viking here, but he is. And Pun is going to look to grab the kill. Dire is going to take it away.
Yeah, this champion is going to become very resilient. And when Ryze gets to 3-4 items, it becomes tough, I think, for TS to take him down.
Well, BA is dealing with 3 people, but he is able to flash away really nicely. Kickback is gorgeous onto Fengwei. They are going to be able to take him down first as Tien in with the Cataclysm. Everyone getting out, but it's the Olaf that just dives into everyone. Mega Inferno Bomb will help put him down, but not before Dire has taken out the Jace. They get rid of Jackie Love as well. There's the damage missing, and TSW can do no wrong today. It's one of the most famous 2-item spikes already without getting his Seraphs there. There is the Cataclysm into this mid lane as Eddie already going to be flashing out of the way. Fengwei is a bit too far forward though, booted back and taken down. BA though is just going to try and take a Shelly exit, but she was on no health, so that's not going to work. And trade very much their Wales. As Histo, he is very much there as well. He's going to find Jackie Love as there is the resonating strike kick. Not sure about that play though, as he just lands the Q, and that is going to do it. An interruption attempt here from BA. He can hold Tien in position for quite some time. As Histo, he should be able to lock this one up. There is the kickback, flashes back into it, stolen by Jackie Love of all people! And Tien now gets back over. It is going to be a freebie given there, but still, can TS find more? That is the question. Anchor into the backline as BA is trying to make something happen. Histo is being targeted by Cream, but that is going to be the pickoff, and TSW are going to continue their onslaught. They do take the Realm Warp over. They do not.
They're buying time well. Ragnarok's up in a couple seconds here, so they could actually look for a fight when BA gets back.
Yeah, well, looking for an angle right now is down to 50% is Pun, but he does have that Ragnarok like you were talking about. Fengwei looking for a bit of an angle, but BA gets in there first. There's the knockup. They take out the Jace Dawning Shadow to keep the team alive as Tien. Cataclysm on top of the center, but it's not going to do anything. He's just going to kill everyone around him. It's a double for Dire. Jackie Love goes down for the triple. Can they give him the quadra? That's the question. Pun says no. Eddie's just going to collect it. They'll take a Baron though, and Team Secret Wales. Absolutely gorgeous. So much of top esports' composition is front-loaded, as BA might be in a little bit of trouble, but he's a pretty tanky Nautilus. There's the root, and down will go Tien. No options. Kickback is gorgeous onto Fengwei. It's a setup for the anchor as Histo and BA. Man, this is a gang squad that are working so beautifully. Cream, oh dear, he is going to have to go back to that blind monk, and Histo will find him. Another anchor comes in. TSW are just styling on them. Jackie will be able to get a kill back though, as BA a little bit overly aggressive, but there is Pun. The Unbound Soul is going to be able to keep Cream alive, but he still takes so much damage here. Dire just going to be dashing back. And there's the Magnastorm. They try and get on top of the Rise. Mega Inferno Bomb not doing nearly enough as the Dawning Shadow comes on through. And Fengwei is just going to die as an afterthought. Xueyan is going to have to get out of there, but it's Jackie that's mown down. Histo finds his mark, and it's the Team Secret Whales that take game number 1 over Top Esports. And man, maybe we had this team underestimated. Maybe Humble-Life Esports are just completely ballistic.
That we're used to seeing.
Yeah, we haven't seen that a lot from him. He hasn't been around for 2 years, and Lee Sin hasn't really been meta during that time, so he's only got 7 games on the pick, but it is something that he is known for in the region at least, and he's very good at it, especially when he gets these more skirmish-heavy mid-games, because then he can team up.
The Gnar is going to be the final consideration. Not necessarily helping, but this is what we were talking about before. I like it way more. I mean, this is what a lot of people think of, like the primary matchup into the Rumble, but also...
Right, because if he goes in too early, uses the ult too early, it's going to be really easy to shut him down, at the very least make him cancel that ult.
And we'll have to see how Pun's going to be able to play as well, because he's definitely going to be on a little bit more of that weak side, find his way in. That's going to be the question. Remember, this is an Naafiri, can go untargetable, so it can be a little bit annoying, as that is going to be Tien, gets the wild growth there as well, and they just blow up Histo immediately. Tien gets himself out. The magical journey is taken for the retreat, and that is first blood.
Cream was there. They had the...
In the meantime, Xueyan is very dead. Good.
Yes.
Okay, well, Pun is going to try and find a ram. We'll be able to throw it into the minion wave because he knows that he's dead, I guess. And Tian's going to make his way back down, but that is not even going to get it. But with the Rift Herald now at about 50%, Top Esports wanted to try and fight this one as BA trying to deal with Jackulov and not quite being able to do so, as Xueyan going to have to flash to get out of the way. Dire's over the wall, though, and they look to try and get rid of this Rumble. He should be going down, but a few buttons do need to land. The wild growth to keep him alive as Jackie could be in trouble fighting against Eddie now, but Jackie just destroys the Bard, and Eddie needs to run for the hills. Now, finally, Pun's made his way in, as the Ram gets a knock-up, but I don't think Top Esports really care about it.
Right, you know, you need to kind of layer those abilities, because he's the only CC.
All right, there is going to be the punch, and Dire going to have to get himself out of there. That is going to be the last hit. Jackulov able to take out the Aurora in trade for that Tempered Fate. And Team Secret Whales still looking for an angle, but Eddie is so close to dead. Jackie just diving forward. The bullet time is going to be able to help take him down as they trade 80 carries. Maybe this will work for Team Secret Whales, as now Cream trying to dash around this fight. Great charm onto Histo, who flashes back into the equalizer. Not entirely sure about that one, but he doesn't fall down just yet. Pun now trying to be that front line, trying to tank it up as Dire doing a lot of damage. Great polymorph to deny any sort of escape from this on, and they're going to look for the turret as well. Top Esports. Team Secret Whales just trying to get themselves into a position where they can even contest this. As there's the punch back onto Pun. He takes so much damage. Equalizer is going to need to be walked here by the On. Gets the heal, though, and the Equalizer hasn't really done too much. Tempered Fate once again goes wide. Can they find more with the Ram as it gets the double knock-up? There is the bullet time, but it has to be immediately stopped. And down goes Dire before the fight. It really even had a chance to break out. An immediate teleport will get the Rumble in there. The walking barbecue to take down the hot dog. Histo falls first, and the rest will follow suit. It's a clean ace for...
So it really did feel like they got comfort across the board, and they are utilizing it.
All right, the Ram's going to come on through. They're looking for Jackie. They'll get him as the bullet time is paired with it as well. He'll dash himself out of the way. The Equalizer fantastic in a corridor at the same time as Jackie turns it around. Pun's going to be the first to go down, and everyone else is almost
forcing
dead.
Trades constantly and getting value.
Oh, Tempered Fate is going to be able to catch Jackie, but he doesn't seem too worried about it. Dire down to half health once again. Eddie going to get tagged. Equalizer, great position. The last hit with the charm from Cream was pretty clean, and they'll be able to take the inhibitor in this mid lane. Is this just the end, though? That's the question. Is Xueyan going to get himself a shield as they look to make their way in? Down goes Dire to start this one out. The Ram is there, but it's not really doing too much. And that is going to be the first Nexus turret falling down. Top Esports get the knock-up onto Pun. He'll be taking out some revenge for what he did in the top lane in Game 1, as the Nexuses are even in this series. And we've got a best of 3 to follow this.
A couple of one-sided games to kick off this series.
Yeah.
But this does show the difficulties in terms of setting up for the MF, because as soon as that ult goes off, TES are immediately able to separate the fight enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that snap response onto Dire as soon as they saw him to stop the follow-up in the Aurora just really showed a decisiveness from Top Esports that we haven't seen for a few games now.
It could even go, Gwen does make sense. That is something that we did see actually from Bin yesterday, and he was able to build a really big advantage. And then
it's set instead. All right. I swear the last time I saw it was like Life playing it in support. But it's certainly a pick that has been hidden.
And he did bring it out once this split. It doesn't feel like it's enough just yet. Of course, there's always the X factor of a set.
Yeah, looking for the angle here as the beat drop is not quite going to work out. That true shot barrage doing so much work. Jackalope gets the heal back though, and Eddie in trouble. Tries to get into the brush. He does so. Has the barrier, but he doesn't have his life. First blood over to Jackie, and he's looking for another one. The arrow will connect. The volley to finish off the card. Yeah, and I also think you don't have to do that, right? Like
take the chunk.
Yeah, and also just get to 2 items and then make something happen. As there's the suplex as they look for Jackie, and they find him. Pun, couple of punches, and down goes the axe. Finally going down very low though as Eddie finds him with that true shot barrage. As in goes Histo, finds a beautiful crescent guard to break up the fight, and now Cream is completely offside. Has to flash to get out of the way, but the Ash Arrow is going to fly through. Pierre's the one to tank that one up, but there is a suplex, and they take down Tien. Should be that double dragon going on over as Dire is fighting Cream once again. So much spiraling despair, but it's Chemtech Soul with a set in the game. That sounds ridiculous.
And
now,
Karma.
Yeah, Histo looking for an angle towards Juan as well as Eddie. Arcane shifts forward, gets over that wall. It's going to be Histo the
once again.
Oh, Histo. Fongwei is going to be taken out here, but Tien might be soon to follow. Xuan is actually going to be turned on. Histo just wants to hit things, man, prior to this game.
Look at D-Ray.
All right, looking for the angle. Can he find the right hijack? That's the question. The suplex gets in, lands onto 3. As Zero gets the choice, finds the encore. But the Cyclone is looking good here, and down he will go. Jackie's going to get taken out. The faces are being broken, and now Shelly gets involved. Histo gets into the back line, knocks up Cream. He gets over the wall, though. It's Pun. Pulls them in, gets the shield, and tries to walk it off the haymaker to keep him alive. This set is absurd, as Eddie is going to be able to finish him off in the end. Even Pun walking over.
Haymaker back absorbs just enough damage there to survive from the team fight. That was picture perfect from Pun.
This guy is just amazing. Pun picking whatever he wants and making it work. He's still getting run down though as the arrow is going to connect. He has to use the Crescent Guard, but it's pretty effective as in he goes again. The faces are getting broken. Cream goes down and Pun lives on 10 health or something. Dire able to get himself out of the way. Or Dire, if I'm going to say it correctly, is Xuan trying to escape, does so. Yes.
They're losing all the jungle.
At least there are no villagers in the villages. If that makes any sense at all. As the arrow is going to go wide. Tien with the Cyclone gets on top of Histo. As Dire trying to do what he can to keep his jungler alive, but Histo is going to be going down. Eddie now finds himself in an awkward spot, but a lot of damage onto this Seraphine. Man, well, they're walking towards them now. Q is not going to quite find the angle here, as we can see. Eddie's Mystic Shots are actually doing a lot of work. He's gone Cerilda as his 3rd item as well, so he can actually do a decent amount to the Scion. Tien, though, is going to be the first one to go down. It's the decoy that they're looking for, but Dire finds the chains. Treyon going to have to flash away, but the 3-talon strike catches him, even over the wall. His face is broken, and down he goes. Pun is indeed unstoppable here in this game, and that should mean the Baron going over to Team Secret Wales.
Yeah.
And the Ash Arrow has been picked up here by Dire as well. He throws it out immediately. There is the showstopper from Pun. He finds the Facebreaker. It is going to be Tien falling down first. Histo getting into that front line as down goes the Monkey. Finally, True Shot Barrage over everyone from Eddie. It is lights out for Cream, and the rest are going to follow. So Chuan is a zombie, and Eddie will be able to kill the Seraphine.
TSW, they are about to take us to match point.
Match point. We haven't had a 4-game series so far here at MSI. If they manage to follow up this one, it will be our first, and we'll see whether they can to keep the LCP in the tournament.
To see Xuan stepping up to the level we know he can play at, because we've seen him already at this MSI against G2 have an incredible performance on that and better. It just feels like today he hasn't quite got locked in.
Maybe there's an angle for it to get flexed around, but he has played Syndra in his career a handful of times.
Well, the Victor Syndra matchup isn't one I'd necessarily feel the need to dodge. That being said, should be able to get a display of talent here from Top Esports. Everyone on Secret Wales will just die. even if they do have big tanky boys. Because there is just so much layering of damage.
Tools to really make it tough to get in.
Whoa, Eddie might just be dying though, as we can see here. Feng Shui burning at first blood over to the Elise. Eddie. I mean, I've kind of been caught up in this series and just how impressive. Never mind, I'm going to be caught up in this fight here as well, as Dire gets the shield from the Q, but Tien is just going to skip on over to try and stand up against a lot of the top regions. But right now, Team Secret Wales, after what was a devastating series against Harmalife Esports, are looking great. However, Pun does get missed by the Wallop, still just trying to fight this one out. The Ghoulie Wall working out beautifully, down to the Mini-Gnar, and he doesn't hit the boomerang! There's the Q! It was a similar start, and then a very difficult end, as the Cocoon is going to connect. Bia actually looking for the angle here. He finds the Ignite this time, just needs the auto, and down goes the Pike.
Dragon, though.
Yeah, Histo looking for a bit of an angle here, throwing briefcases around. The Peacemaker doing so much work as Tien trying to get himself out. He's so low, but Histo locks it up in the end. They do manage to get the kill onto BA though, as Fengwei, yeah, you're really dead.
Both had the flash there, by the way, and they get nothing at all because he has the repel already set up. They take 3 grubs on topside with York, who's already ahead. They get the Dragon, and we're about to see Zweon die.
Yep, the E comes on through. He flashes the Ghoulie Walls there. He didn't even need it. Just before the Syndra even arrives, Feng Shui is just, yeah, he's just dead. As the Bone Skewer does go wide, the going to get cocooned himself and is snared up there as well. Great chain CC. They take out the Elite Supreme Display of Talent onto only Dire, but it should be able to work out here as the Arcane Storm comes in. The Ace in the hole to lock down the Kiana though, and his toe is not dying today. Just wanders out of the way. And they are going to look for the Dragon as well.
Yeah, they're going to go right back to it. BA just respawned. He's running out there, but Bun needs some help.
Yeah, nice Bone Skewer there. Flash over, down he goes! No stun to come on through. The Ghoulie Wall comes on over, but Cream going to try and throw out the Force of Will. They take down the raid boss, but Eddie is looking for some revenge. Cream's flashing out of the way. Histo finds the briefcase, and Fengwei, yeah, you're not getting out of that one. Eddie is still looking for Cream. One more auto, there it is!
But on the other side.
Well, in the meantime, we've just got Dire walking out of the way of the death from below. Still, he's going to die into this game. Getting picks like that in side lanes could be an avenue, especially if Eddie's also going to die. This is sort of like your core 2 items that you need, but you've got some flexibility from here. Shuyan does not have as much flexibility as the death rate comes down, and he is just extremely dead. I mean, Caitlyn probably still wanting 4 items to really be valuable as Pun possibly in trouble here as Tien taking a lot of damage. The Unleashed Power comes in, and that is going to be enough to execute.
And they did get the TP off Jackie Love.
Oh, that reaction time was gorgeous, but Eddie still going to be able to dash forward. Jackie will be trading the kill back. Histo is moving over here. Let's see whether he can win this Smite fight, as this could even out the Drakes for top esports. Now we have a fight on the opposite side. Pun is going to get pulled back and executed. They're going to try and burst this one down. They do manage to claim the Dragon, but they have to sacrifice their Yorick to do it.
If you feel like you didn't have a chance to get soul, then obviously it was your only choice, but we'll see.
Yeah, Ghoulie Wall is going to trap Jackulov for now. His flash is available, but he's not going to invest that into just getting out of the way of that wall. Shuyan just looking for a bit of revenge, and he's just chasing down this Yorick. Pun, like you were saying, going to be able to shut off that exit as well. And Jackie Love trying to find the angle. The Solar Stare doesn't land, but the Cocoon does! Down goes Jackie! And now, can Fengwei do anything to stop this onslaught? The answer is so far, not really, but at least they can run towards the Team Secret Wales base. The ulti now going to run out here from his toes, looking for...
Weon is trying to go for the game.
Yeah, they're trying to look for it. Okay, Cream now at 2/3 health. They're just trying to stop the backs, I guess, as this inhibitor turret should be falling. There it is. Inhib should be going down as well. Team Secret Wales do just want to kill Cream before anything else happens. They will be able to do that, but without an inhibitor turret towards the top side of the map, it's going to mean that they haven't necessarily found a lead just yet.
No, not at all. Tien, though, might
9
find
seconds.
Eddie.
Oh dear, finds Eddie, but oh, he flashes out of the way. It's not going to be enough to be able to keep him alive, as Histo should be able to... Baron on the table, going to be the next port of call here, as Dire going to be getting out of the way of Tien. The Arcane Storm now, as Histo is just in amongst 4 people, as he kind of likes. Now Megan are going to be coming through for Jueon as well, but Eddie now just peppering him with bullets. Tien in so much trouble. Sidestep great from Dire as well, as now the Crush gets out. The Gnar is going to be used defensively, and Histo is obviously there, throwing these briefcases around. The Guardian Angel is going to be up for TM, but it should be taken down pretty quickly, and TSW just chasing them all the way down the rift. Jackie the first to die yet again, and this time Team Secret Whales should be able to find the angle that both of these mages have. Is very scary. Great Cocoon is going to connect here. Do they have the damage though? That's the question. As they get BA up into the sky, and it's absolutely a yes as Eddie gets that headshot. Betrayon goes in, and there is the stun. Pun makes his way forward. Jackie the next target. Supreme display of talent. Mundo just laughs that off as TN is going to get put down to that GA surely in a few moments. D-Ray's going to do it. Jackie tries to get the ulti, and now Top Esports, I think this is their final moments at MSI for 2026. A team no stranger to disappoint, but the Team Secret Whales, what an incredible performance. Managing to come back after a tough loss against Humble Life Esports, our first 4-game series here at MSI. And it's them moving forward.
Roles around him. We saw D-Ray in game 1 have a great Rise performance with Histo there to carry. We saw a great set performance, but Histo was there again. We saw BA have a great Nautilus performance, but it's Histo that they're all playing around.
Well, the Gauntlet, well, you can hear Dejan going crazy, and it's because the Gauntlet has been thrown down. I'm sorry, Zeus coming out with the Ambessa blind, picking it. Zeka bringing
BB
this out.
Warwick.
And the Broken Blade Warwick.
Lane against Rise's mana. So that might be beneficial for G2's side, even though the health bars were pretty similar, because that is the resource that you're kind of expending in this matchup. So nice little early start for them, even though they for him. Kanavi around, it does get visual confirmation.
Delight also on the way up, but Lebrav is here too. Level 3 to level 2. Q goes wide from Kanavi. That's a nice start for the side of G2. Broken Blade moving in to try and follow up. A low health target's going to mean all that extra attack speed. Fear down. Delight down a level means it can't do a damn thing. It gets taken out as well. 2 quick kills on the top side.
Loves that scrap right into the middle. Gets the fear on them, and G2 are on the board. Talk about those.
Ooh, Scumon's still following. You're right. The aggressive early game favoring G2 so far. Kanavi wants to turn it back a bit. Q flash in, flash back from Caps. Lockup is there. The excessive force. He doesn't have enough time to proc it. Blinking health bar. Caps running 22 HP. He's still alive. It's Scumon's here for the turn, but it's about to be 4 members of HLE in the mid lane. This is going bad for G2. Flash out to safety. Lebrav hoping, praying for a hook into the tower. Living an extra moment. Blazeus with a sundering slam to get one in return.
Wait, they could trap Scumon. Zeka's coming on the way over.
Level 6 there for Kanavi.
Uh-oh.
Scumon, I don't think, ready for this fight. Easy follow-up now for Zeka. HLE first on the move. Scumon not anticipating the level 6.
That was a big question mark for me, was why are you walking in? The hold on the Q. Here we go.
Kanavi here too. Jaws of the Beast coming out. A bit of damage mitigation, but that Ignite does so much work. Ulti coming in from Goyushi, but barrier there for Broken Blade to block. Now it's Delight in trouble, exhausted. Hansama looking if he can follow up, but the ulti goes completely awry as the re-engage is there from Kanavi. Cease and desist. No more cheesing in the top lane. At this point, there was a glimmer of G2 early game looking dominant here, but HLE just responded much better, although now Delight the one in trouble. Realm Warp through. Looks like Delight will just be sacrificed. You can see Zeka immediately pulling off that play. Recognize there's no way for Delight to escape, so aggressive immediately just continue looking for those plays as Lebrav supporting Broken Blade to get some more gold in his back pocket. Caps here as well, maybe hoping they can bait a play. 4 members of G2 overloading the top side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to send.
That's the ulti going in for Zeus. Lebrav now looking for a lockup in the meantime, taking out Delight. Zeus waiting on the tower, ulti in, perfectly timed charm, but the fate sealed to get away. Good reaction from Zeka to buffer. Ulti from Gumayushi connecting just on the frenzy. There's too much damage. HLE solo laner's doing a lot of work, but Zeus maybe over eager. Broken Blade with a blinking health bar. But supposedly that's his comfort zone. Hansama, I don't think so though.
Yeah, it's not a Seraphine comfort zone.
The flash Q, ulti in onto Hansama. Kanavi now looking for a bit more follow-up. Zeka needs to stack for the Q3. A few more seconds before he's forced to snap back on the Soul Unbound. And half items on this Ziggs. It's only getting scarier the further we go in, but Broken Blade still hoping to force the 1v1. Needs to get Zeus lower. That's the ulti. Infinite Duress now coming in the extended play. Warwick can do a lot of work, but Zeus might win the 1v1 before even it gets there. Gumayushi TP's in just to say nice job.
Wait, they're on the attack.
Delight locked up. Hookshot wall dive, not connecting. Able to find a bit more damage here. As the response from Guma is to take half those health bars. Immediate TP coming in from Zeka, but he's exhausted. Follow-up CC now going to Kanavi, rise to the fight. They're just rolling into G2, and it is not working out. 2 quick kills picked up by G2, but HLE continue to approach.
See? Warwick is exciting. He snipes him. Warwick ultimate hit. And now
Zeka, Zeus straight into the backline. Zeka already dead. Kanavi looking to clean up. Broken Blade finds Gumayushi on the side. He'll take him down, but top jungle from HLE is tearing through the fight. Skumond, blinking health bar. Broken Blade, a little bit extra sustain coming in. The Eternal Hunger, stacking him up, but a little bit more burst from Zeus should just finish the job. He's too far behind.
That story.
Yeah, I'm scared of all of them. Delight is 1-4-3, and I'm terrified of Delight. As it looks like Zeus might want to be a little bit terrified of G2. He gets a lot of done there, but it might cost the
Baron. I mean, it's just gone. They accepted this play. D2 make the call. We're going to make an overload. We're going to try and get a kill onto Zeus. They do get that. They shut down Zeus. It is at the cost of the Baron, though.
Hansam, of course, can immediately follow up to keep that CC train going. You in for Broken Blade, hoping to pick off Delight. Gumayushi isolated off to the side. Gonna get deleted before the fight even starts. Now Kanavi wants to turn it back. The Collapse is already moving first. Zeus finally arriving, as is Zeka. Eyes on the fate sealed. The combo of ultimates, but Zeka immediately going to get exhausted. G2, 4 members strong, barreling towards Zeus, looking to deny the soul.
They do it! Zeus now running for his life, and he can't run at all!
Rooted, Delight can't re-enter the fight. If you think they might fight you, just hit them.
Yeah.
Hit them right in the face, hit them fast. Well, that's Delight's plan. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to get the stun. Zeka, immediate lockup from LeBron, denying him on the side. Zeka.
Looks good.
QSS out.
Look at this, circling around both sides.
Brav on the side, hoping to lock up Guma. Winds become lightning, does connect, but the satchel charge is still up and available. LeBron zoning them away, does get called out by Zeus. Excellent ulti on the public execution. Support's down on both sides, but it's 3 seconds until Delight is back up and active on the map. Kanavi debating, can he force the ulti? Caps goes golden with the Zanyas, buys a second. Instantaneous follow-up is there, and the encore, not enough for Hansama. Instead, it's an encore for HLE. They punched the wall. There was a stud in the wall. Now there's a Zeus in the jungle, however, and there's not really a lot Skumon can do. Flash in from LeBron, gets the flash out from Guma. G2 not certain if they want to keep playing for this. Zeka zoning them away with the fate sealed. Ulti's traded. Zeus, Skumon re-engage. Instantaneous encore, hoping to burn through the MSI health bar. Broken Blade with the fear in the backline to stop the instantaneous follow-up. But Guma still gets the ulti down. Kanavi versus Caps. 1v1, gets a second of relief, but Zeka is already here. Flash away from Caps is simply not enough. But Skumon, Warwick beside him. Broken Blade still living for 2 damn long. The magic damage gone, and this wolf is tearing through, baby. Laughter from Rodrigo. Realm Warp into the backline. Instantaneous fit fight. Encore across the entire team. Caps getting lower. Delight still off to the side. Crucially, Guma is down. G2 holding on, but Kanavi and Zeus stay strong. This time around, it is not going their way. HLE happy to turn this one. Hansama running, but surely there is no way out. The buy, the Camille, the Ambessa, not even needed. G2 sent packing. A freeze frame, but it does not mean a damn thing. It's an ace. If they lose this fight, Guma TP's bot and the game is over. It's all on this. 8K, objective getting lower. Skumon ready to go over the wall, but they cannot walk through the minefield to force the 5v5. 50% HP on so many members, and there's not even a fight breaking out yet. Zeka over the wall, locking up Skumon. Zeus to follow. Down goes the jungler. Turn back though. On to Delight, hoping to get something else. Gumayushi is dead. G2 fighting into enemy territory on HLE. Multi-man lockup. Hansama and Caps have to make the difference, but the divers are too damn strong. Zeus once again gets the double. Zeka to finish it. HLE closing it out with confidence. Started rough. It got really good, but it wasn't enough with HLE itemizing the healing reduction, never giving him a chance to make the impact he was looking for. G2 sent back to the drawing board as HLE draw first blood in this best-of-5 series. But first, they got to play with their food a bit.
I respect it. G2 trying to play into that HLE pace, and
Yeah, it wasn't. HLE didn't ban the Ashe, they banned Rel.
Yeah.
Seems like this has been a more prominent thing, and they were kind of ready for it.
Yes.
I will say Hansama on bot APCs is not always where I want him to be. He's serviceable on them, but I'd much prefer to see him on an AD carry.
and you can go unstoppable during the
Okay.
Cataclysm. So, all right, we are going to get the Salus and just give that bird up to Zeus. Zeus was one of the very early adopters of the top lane Anivia, by the way. Problem at all in the last one. It turned out great.
Okay.
There were some moments where it didn't work in the 1v1,
no,
but
that's fair. There were some concerning moments too, Kobe, but there was some
Broken
good ones.
Blade spends his...
Come on, recognizes the danger and decides it is time to back up. Guma stepping pretty far forward. Hansama flashback, a sidestep, but Zeka's now on the way in. Abscond, just gonna get him with the chain lash, and first blood to the side of HLE.
Kanavi's here too,
But
now
HLE,
Dracos.
you're right, they're not done yet. Pushing this wave and taking their sweet time, letting G2 stew in it. The flag, the drag, the knockout coming in from the stolen wild growth. Kanavi not even going to fall. But that's a 2v1, and now Zeka's moving in behind them. Grubs are down. Zeka can steal Yunara. Oh, no, he has Syndra ultimate.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You're not outplaying that one. Doesn't matter if Syndra casts it or Silas casts it. You know, Zeka's roams have been felt bottom lane, but Caps does have the CS lead to speak because of it.
Oh, flag drag. Quick flash back there. The Golden Egg is slow connects, but it might not matter too much.
Hello.
But now the Cataclysm lineup is there. Instantaneous polymorph. Nice wild growth on the Caps to try and turn it. Zeka hoping to find an angle for the kick. Only manages to disengage from Skewmon as Labrov
Gets inside there for the kick as well.
top lane, Broken Blade moving up. Zeus would push the wave all the way in. Risky call from Zeus. Last breath to come through, but Kanavi already on the way. Oh, the wall to push it back. Zeus is just too damn clean. Broken Blade gonna try to dash his way through, but the ulti is there. Turn to ice. It's just domination in the top lane 1v1. Continuing to go all in onto Zeus. He doesn't really have another option. Caps now coming up. Gets on the other side of the wall. Last breath there, but unfortunately not on the other side of the wall where he needs to be. Reset into the egg. G2 should grab this kill, but Zeka now moving in. No way the Anivia manages to live. Broken Blade dashing through. The shutdown going to Caps. Fight in the bottom lane. Ulti onto Hansama. The Wild Growth gives him an extra second. Guma overstepping. Shutdown from Skewmon. Extra healing now coming in. That's the Sundered Sky. Delight, the turn back. Wants to get it onto Skewmon. Kanavi! Polymorph! Down he goes! G2. And Skewmon, the shielding enough. Keep relatively healthy. Forward, denying a bit of the vision there. Flag and drag, flash out from Hansama. Polymorph now, kick back onto Kanavi. He's going to flash out as well. Guma marked up by the Sonic Wave. No resonating strike, and Zeka starting to come over the wall. Crucially, if Scott of Duck does not connect, but it might not matter. Wild Growth stolen away still by Kanavi as a double kill comes through for Guma. G2 were not ready for this fight. The knockup doesn't land on the Caps, but the red buff just keeping him in range. Lower and lower goes Kanavi to Dark Sphere to finish the kill. Solo laners of G2 in the 2v3, hoping to make the difference. Flash out from Broken Blade, though. Leaves his mid laner to die. There's no other choice. He cannot save him. Zeus just canceling recall after recall after recall, knowing that no one on G2 is in a good position to threaten him here, and now having his entire team back him up as he basically just solo kills Hans.
Ooh, that was brutal right there, Zeus.
The gold lead still okay, as now we see Last Breath in the bottom lane. Zeka going for the 1v1. Abscond of Duck will give him access for the Last Breath, but Zeus is here once again to save the day and just, what the heck?
Silas on this patch.
Yep, extra healing. And there it is. There's some of that extra healing.
Yeah, this is nice. He's able to run Caps all the way down.
And that Coinbase gold grind just showing us that despite a 40 CS discrepancy, kills can more than make up for the differences. Labrov has simply stepped too far forward. Won't really burn much of anything to make that happen. Caps now in no man's land, a decent scatter as Skewmon manages to kick Gumayushi out of the equation, but now Caps is in enemy territory and may once again just be sacrificed. Kanavi puts him in the Thunderdome. The extra healing, and Caps just doesn't do enough damage to finish the kill. Breath of Life there, and a culling.
What can they do?
Q auto, another Q, dash through. If he gets the knockup, he can probably finish the kill. Flash away from Guma, given that respect, but Zeka's just solo killing Labrov. And now Broken Blade is dead. Oh gosh, yep, Last Breath, aptly named. That's the last breath he's gonna get. We're 20 minutes in. Skewmon gonna try to get one back, no! Zeus, just give him a crumb, please! Have mercy! Oh no, Caps is next. Oh no, Kobe! It hits a lot harder as Zeka just doesn't stop.
Hits hard.
Oh, he takes the Yasuo and he's doing better with it! Broken Blade's dead, Labrov running. Skewmon also has to get the hell out of there. Zeka turns back! He's got to leak. They are desperate to finish off Zeka. They have so many members. Surely they can kill this mid laner, but Guma's off to the side. They're being herded, knocked back into their own jungle as HLE just make a montage on the first seed of the LEC. Zeus didn't even arrive yet. Finally, the bird is here. But I don't know. Personally, I liked it more when BFX and Genji were no. HLE terrifying. Skewmon preying on a 50-50. He's dead. Might get a kill, but he cannot steal this because they have the discipline to back away, and there's Zeka once more. Now legendary, insane dominance. coming out for HLE. G2, this is their final stand. 1.7K. The objective will fall. Hansama off to the side. 4v5. G2 continue to walk up. Scuttlecrab plopped on top of Zeka's head. Broken Blade charging the Q. Ease through. Manages to find the last breath. Polymorph onto Zeka. They're getting a bit of space here. Hansama still standing. Ult's looking to transcend. Zeka looking to stop it, and it's tracked. So the follow-up is there. Hits him with the Dragon's Rage. He's absconding. He's abducting. They finally kill the mid laner. But it looks going to be necessary from the side of G2 Esports. As Skimar looking to follow up on Kanavi. Good chunk to kick things off. The Wild Growth stolen. And once again, just fantastic setup. Kanavi still living. Broken Blade knocked up. That's the EQ flash to ensure they have the lockup there. Breath of Life. HLE even more dominant than game one. Give no hope. Give no quarter. To the side of G2, they move on to match point. They're looking to clean sweep this series and remain undefeated at MSI.
All right, analyst Des, tell us how G2 are going to pull off this.
Getting the Wild Growth knock-up, the synergy, like you already talked about, Ox, between the stolen Lulu ult and this Jarvan was amazing.
Yeah, it was so good to see, and how decisive they were, because Broken Blade started the TP, and I think G2 were like, hey, if they go in, we can turn this, before they even got a chance, before the Yasuo even arrived.
People were very, very critical.
It did not look good.
Because Cream hit all of his Noxious Blasts, and they also critically were roaming mid with jungle and support right behind him to try and get the priority here, and it remains true with the Caitlyn Bard lane going to need this too, so Zeka does come down for that level 1. They sweep. They use it as bait. Delight going to wrap around. Here it comes.
Has all this extra movement speed. Not ideal, but that's a blinking health bar on Delight. The follow-up just isn't there. But Skewmon moving down. Has a flash of his own. Fakes that he's going to go in on the clone. Stepping on the trap from the Brav. Not going to cost him. Call the pack might, though. Kanavi goes in. Looking to land both the daggers. First blood to the side of HLE. The stun landing because he uses the clone. Delight able to lock them up, stop the follow-up, and now it's Hansama, flash forward from Guma. Doesn't quite have the range. That's such a... Ulti in the top lane, coming in from Kanavi, though. Drops the tower aggro, flash out coming in from Zeus. Easy kill back at mid.
He was getting low, Dracos, and we were talking about how are you going to hold the ultimate. He tries to flash away, Zeka does flash as well, and then he has plenty of time to turn his back for that ulti. Because
that's a Voltaic Cyclo Sword. They're going to give the kill to Guma, but Kanavi's there just in case. Just makes the follow-up dive that much easier. Now the tower taken out of the equation. Kanavi, remember, incredibly fed. He's stunned, but it might not matter. Double Dark and Dagger's about to come out. A little bit more healing, but no. G2 with the tower empowering them. An aggressive dive, and they'll manage to make the most of it. 2-1 and 2 the score for Kanavi. Caps getting the kill back is nice, but Broken Blade, you know, 5 seconds is all you got once you lock that gold card in, and then immediate engage comes in from Zeka. One more auto, just eats the stun and takes Broken Blade. Kanavi is still very squishy despite having the Voltaic Cyclo Sword. Skewmon, flash in, immediate Cyclone. Good reaction coming out from Kanavi. Skewmon just can't get anything. Instead, turning back onto Gumushi. One more stack on the Cyclone. Spinning as fast as he can towards that Caitlyn. But the barrier's there, and down they go. And now Kanavi, he smells weakness. And he's quick to punish. Gold lead, a completed item, and an extra BF sword on top
Zeus
of
wants the
Boost
Ezreal
2.
kill. Look at him. He's going down for the Ezreal kill bot lane.
Zeus going for the 1v1, looking to burn down Hansama. Electro Offense hitting, overheat coming in. Hansama forced to flash away. It's a split fight, though. Zeus quick to finish on Hansama as we turn our attention to the top side. Delight finds the disengage. Broken Blade finally gets here. Kanavi, not sure if he has the call of the pack. Taking his time on the double daggers, and Broken Blade just getting deleted. Ulti in, not enough time to lock a gold card. Kanavi gets the reset. He'll get a shield when he ults again. Skewmon hoping to get one back. Healing coming from the Dark and Daggers. They finally take down Kanavi, but it looks like it's costing him everything because Guma's the fed one, and he's raining hell down onto Caps. Triple kill for Guma Yushi. And credit to HLE, right? Oh, hold that thought. Delight caught out. They're going to try to one-shot this Bard. Lockup is there. Miasma as well. Nice shutdown to kick things off, but Kanavi instantly turns back. Looking to pick up Hansama as well. Call the pack. Not going to be necessary. Eviscerate to get him over the wall. Sidestep on the True Shot barrage as Gumyushi's just 1v1ing the Wukong. Zeka goes in to kill him. G2 just have no space. They're getting danced around.
The balance team has you.
As they do. The balance team cannot nerf Zeus as much as they have nerfed Rumble. Go in, gold card. Zeus overheating in Broken Blade's face. Might still be able to grab a kill, just barely. But you can because it's fun, and they might, because that's a 7-stack Magi's on Zeka. It's fun. Hey! Brother Delight, not enough to save LeBron. However, he will still die, and now the resets are coming in. Naka from the Cyclone, and the clone is nice from Skewmon, but it might not matter. Red carpet laid down for Broken Blade, looking to send him back to the fountain, and Caps cannot get the snake body.
Let's set a goal on killing a single individual. Ideally, you know, you'd love to kill Guma to get the giant bounty. Well, never mind, we're under
Caps
attack.
is the goal. Caps is the individual for HLE. Lockup is there, he's about to fall. LeBron getting lower and lower. Broken Blade is finally here, but it's a red card. He's hoping we can play football rules. He can get him kicked off the rift, but he absolutely cannot. They've exhausted Kanavi. And guys, let's be clear here. I'm an EU rep. I love this G2 team, but you just can't dance around this. There is no storyline. There is nothing we can say that will make this any less one-sided. Nice engage coming in for HLE.
Of course, we'll definitely have to wait and see how it progresses, but Baron's gonna go down as is.
Another trap about to go down. Chain CC. Mikhail's there. Caps running. Zeka chasing. Distortion in. A little bit more damage as Caps does what he can to fire back. Yellow, hoping to take him out of this particular play. Oh, the Coinbase gold grind. Yes, thank you. Wanted to review. Shout out to Coinbase, obviously. Much love to our sponsors, but poorly timed. We know we're getting just completely, absolutely Goomba stomp. Cap sidestep the ulti. Q flash in goes in from Delight. Skewmon's going to spin amongst 3 people, but he's just serving himself up on a silver platter.
Round up into gold.
Yep, and it is. HLE continuing their dominance. Not going to risk anything on this closeout. They want to stay in this game as Kanavi's going to survive that true shot barrage. There's insult, there's injury, and there's the addition of whatever the heck this is Broken Blade is also going in.
Oh, Zayas
goes
man.
through. Oh.
Too good. They roast him up. Now they're going to go for more. Okay, not done.
Zeka still living. Goes back, shut down on a little block. That's the one kill. And I hope for the sake of G2 that this is not the end of their turn. This is not the end of them playing at their best level. Even if we don't get to see that best level here, because obviously they're down 14,000 gold. The tower's taken out of the equation. HLE Cosmic Bind it out. Zayas on a rampage. Caps hoping to get another kill. Yushi running. Broken Blade with a gold card. Can we get one more kill?
Oh my God! My God!
HLE
That is not a
undefeated
peacemaker.
in the first series. It's not a peacemaker. That's a kill maker right there. That is a surface-to-air missile strapped to Gumyushi's hands. He has taken people out. Okay, Hansama gets one back. A little bit of panacea for the pain that HLE have caused. HLE remain undefeated, waiting to see if it'll be BLG or Lion facing them at the top of the table.
This is a pick we have not seen for him for a pretty long time. And he was just taking over, playing into the Cassiopeia of Caps, having great success.